I'm Chris Shepherd, and as NACE's Challenge and Curriculum Development Director, I often get asked, what is all the fuss about in terms of challenge? Why are you always advocating that we should have an ethos of challenge for all in our schools? Well, as a school leader, I can say hand on heart that having a focus on cognitive challenge for all pupils has turned schools around completely. It's led to a much more positive culture and it's led to much better outcomes for our pupils. Above all, I think cognitive challenge is vital for everybody because that's our moral responsibility. Children are entitled to have appropriate levels of cognitive challenge and to experience them in every single classroom that they enter. We know that cognitive challenge extends learning and increases levels of engagement. We know that therefore it raises overall standards because if you think about cognitive challenge being provided by, first of all, thinking of who our more able learners are in the classroom, pitching all learning to those children, it means that we're raising our expectations, and that means that we are then providing challenge for all learners, because what we do is we scaffold the learning so that it becomes accessible to every single child in the classroom. That in turn improves the school culture because every student starts to see themselves as having the potential to achieve at that level. We know that too many of our young people enter university, for example, or enter life not ever having experienced difficulty, and therefore the first time they find that something is difficult, for example, being in a highly academic environment, they actually fall apart. We know that it is our children's right to experience difficulty because that's how we learn best as they go through school, and we're not going to have that if things aren't challenging, if the learning isn't appropriately challenging for them. So in the long run, it's absolutely essential for their mental health. We know that experiencing cognitive challenge promotes a growth mindset, and in doing so, it creates our lifelong learners. I'm sure we've all heard of the Pygmalion effect, and that is that if we have high expectations of our learners, they will rise to the challenge of those high expectations rather than us inadvertently putting a ceiling on what they can achieve. If we have high levels of cognitive challenge, we're making that the expectation, our learners will rise to that challenge, and trust me, I've seen this happen in numerous schools. So having that really high level of expectation is key. But again, as I said, cognitive challenge is the right of every child. I think Professor Philip Adey talks a lot about how cognitive science shows that if we are putting challenge in front of our young people, it literally helps to develop the synapses in their brain and helps them to make those connections between thoughts and strengthen the schema. Again, if we don't do that, we are allowing a lot of them to fail and we're not giving them the chance to really achieve what's possible.